Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Natalie Pascarella. Well, Connecticut finally has started to reopen. It's the last in the tri-state and the nation to partially reopen its economy. Customers are eager to get outside and get inside of local businesses. But the doors are not wide open. Outdoor areas of restaurants and bars are open. Offices and retail, too, along with outdoor museums, and zoo capacity is limited. Masks are required, but salons, barbershops, and gyms are still closed. Now, it has been a long road, as we know. The state closed back on March 23rd. There have been more than 39,000 cases of the virus, and sadly, 3,529 people have lost their battle with COVID-19. We have team coverage of today's reopening. We start with Stefan Holt live in Stamford with how things are going and what lies ahead. Stefan.
Natalie, a collective sigh of relief as people are out for a stroll, enjoying a meal. Can you remember the last time you actually ate a meal at a restaurant? The folks dining al fresco tonight this evening, enjoying a glass of wine, enjoying a meal, say they are thrilled that the wait is finally over. And speaking of wait, come look over here. There's actually a line for tables outside of this restaurant, Capriccio's, here on Bedford. A business owner is telling me that they are ecstatic to see customers coming back, even though they have fewer tables to serve at. But it is impossible to forget that we're still in the middle of a pandemic. There are new safety measures, masks, tables spaced further apart, and menus no longer on paper, they're on your cell phone. Yes, this is the new reality of phase 1 of reopening here in Connecticut. Now, the state is forging ahead with phase 2. That is, if things continue to stay on track and the indicators, the hospitalizations, the deaths, the ICU admissions, those stay down. Governor Ned Lamont just over an hour ago talked about that target date that has been set. That is going to be a month from now. June 20th is the date. All right. Well, among the businesses that could open, gyms, nail salons, tattoo parlors, entertainment venues, outdoor amusement parks, and movie theaters. In addition, Governor Lamont said some summer youth sports, public libraries could reopen as part of that plan as well. Summer day camps, they could also begin a few days later.
Phase 2 is about a month after Phase 1, about June 20th. And we'll be looking at the metrics. We'll be looking at where we are over the next couple of weeks. And that will be really important as we give you the guidance a couple of weeks before June 20th and beyond.
Now, as far as an exact date for schools, that's still on the table, still being discussed and debated. Bars and things like concerts and indoor venues, that's likely to come in phase 3 later this summer. But we've heard from officials time and time again, this is all about adaptation, kind of learning as we go, trying to see what changes, what happens before we set some of those firm dates. So for now, this process beginning with anticipation, beginning in earnest as well. Officials, businesses, and even customers just trying to get used to these changes, and will likely have to be prepared for more changes as we continue down this road to recovery in Connecticut. And speaking of roads, about 20 minutes driving northeast of where we are here today, there's the town of Westport. Westport was one of the state's first clusters of coronavirus, and arguably the community hardest hit by this pandemic. News 4's Mark Santia live in Westport with how that town is doing right now. Mark.
And Stefan, you said it, you can almost feel an excitement from businesses and customers here. Restaurants are open, retail open. We have seen plenty of customers wearing masks, making appointments, waiting in line, eating at tables, and shopping.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a peach of a day here at Apricot Lane Boutique in Fairfield. Mother and daughter shopping together. If it wasn't for the masks, plexiglass at the register, and social distance markers, you'd swear this moment was pre-pandemic.
It's really nice. Yeah, it feels good to have a routine and kill time that's not just being alone in my house. It's nice to be out.
Signs of the times. This Fairfield store has been working hard to reopen to make sure everyone feels and is safe.
We're just happy to finally be able to open our doors, sell our product, and just have our customers back.
Down the street, the folks at Quattro Pazzi are going over their reopening plan, excited about the opportunity to get back to business.
And we're going to start with this slowly, and little by little we'll build up what we used to be.
We have all those inspections ready, and coming in and check it out. Yes, we will be ready.
Not all the restaurants in the state are open for outdoor dining today. Here at the Spotted Horse in Westport, they're doing plenty of takeout business, but the town is making all restaurants go through inspections and wait 2 weeks for the green light. Pino Pace says getting the go-ahead is crucial to this business.
This is a business that requires people. It's very important. I mean, if we don't have people, we don't have a job. We don't have, business to run.
Now remember, we're in phase 1 here in Connecticut, and that means if you want to reopen, it's not mandatory, it's voluntary. So locations don't have to open if they don't want to, but we have to tell you, we've been all across the state today, and we say from what we've seen, the vast majority of locations are open. We're live in Westport. I'm Mark Santia. Stefan, back to you in Stamford.
Mark, thanks so much. You're reporting from Westport. Back here in Stamford, we talked about people wanting to get haircuts and probably a huge demand, but sadly, haircut barbershop salons are still closed. They're going to be part of phase 2 of reopening, and in response to that delay, hundreds of stylists gathered in Hartford at the state capitol to protest today. You can see even one person got a haircut on the Capitol steps. The group Salons in Solidarity is angry with Governor Lamont's decision to keep hair salons closed. Remember, the governor originally had given those salons the green light to reopen, but he changed his mind on Monday. He said that was because of safety concerns. So, of course, trying to balance the economic realities of this crisis. People want to get back to work. They want to reopen their businesses. They want to provide for their families. But then there is the human toll to this. This is a virus that is still has people getting sick. People are still getting sick from coronavirus, and people are still dying. As we enter this phase 1, Natalie, everyone here is just hoping those numbers don't go up again. Back to you.
Oh, and we all are, Stefan. Thanks so much. A look there from Connecticut. Now to New York. Then there were 3. New York City, Long Island, and the Mid-Hudson region are the only ones left in the state to be on pause. The capital region opened today. Now, new cases and hospitalizations are dropping slowly, but concerns are growing in lower-income neighborhoods. Take a look at this. Over a quarter of people tested in lower-income New York City neighborhoods has tested positive for antibodies. That's highest in the Bronx. Now, to fight this, the state is expanding testing now to 72 faith-based sites and 40 NYCHA complexes. Statewide religious gatherings of 10 people or less can resume, and that starts tomorrow. But of course, masks and social distancing are required. And Mayor de Blasio announced a 2-week testing blitz at the city's 169 nursing homes, as deaths at those hit at least 3,000 now. I want to go to News 4's John Chandler live in downtown Brooklyn. John, with a surprising new data on child vaccines here in the city.
Well, Natalie, Governor Cuomo likes to say that the data tells a story, and the numbers today certainly revealing on childhood vaccines. Not enough are getting them, and on nursing homes, they need more testing. From New York's oldest to its youngest, a call for change in care.
This is as transformative a moment in history as we will ever see. So we better do things differently.
Mayor de Blasio wants daily testing in nursing homes, 3,000 tests per day starting next week. More than 5,000 New Yorkers have died from COVID in nursing homes. Governor Cuomo says the state was following the CDC in how it dealt with nursing homes in this pandemic.
It's because the state followed President Trump's CDC guidance. So they should ask President Trump.
While waiting for a coronavirus vaccine, the city has learned parents are waiting to vaccinate their kids, if at all. Vaccinations in the 5 boroughs have dropped sharply since last year. Dr. Roya Samuels is a pediatrician at Cohen Children's Medical Center. So what's the biggest danger?
The biggest danger is to have a cohort of unimmunized infants who do not have strong immune systems.
She says fear of leaving the house contributes to the drop in vaccinations.
Hopefully people can get back to the doctor before they get back, out running around.
And testing through the city's churches reinforces a concerning trend. 27% of people in poor neighborhoods had antibodies compared to 19% for the general population.
Where are people who were infected? Where are the new cases coming from? Where is the spread continuing? Low-income communities, communities of color.
Also from the MTA, how much longer will subways stay closed for cleaning overnight? They do not have an answer on that. They're also asking employers to have employees consider working from home or stagger schedules to relieve stress on the system. We're live in downtown Brooklyn. I'm John Chandler, News 4 New York.
All right, John, thanks for the latest there. Let's talk about New Jersey. The cases surpassed 150,000 in the state today, and sadly, the number of deaths now approaching 11,000 people. Now, meanwhile, today, Hoboken did take a big step forward in its road to recovery. The city now offering rapid antibody testing to all of its residents. It's one of the first rapid antibody test sites available in the state.
Certainly, a strong testing program is one of the foundational principles for our state's road back to restart and recovery.
New Jersey car dealerships reopened as well. In-person sales are allowed, but there are restrictions. You have to wear your mask and you have to practice social distancing, as in so many cases.